Good morning, honey.
Morning.
Are you ready for me tonight?
Yes, I can't wait to ravish you.
Forget about last night. Let's try again tonight, okay?
I'm just really tired. I'll do my best.
John, are you going to be able to get it up tonight?
Trying everything I can, Denise.
You haven't touched me in months. Are you even attracted to me?
I'm not 22 anymore, honey.
Other men your age can get it up. What's wrong with you?
I don't know what to say anymore.
I need to be wanted, John. I need to be touched. And if you can't get it up anymore, maybe I need to find a real man who can.
I just can't live like this. What happened next is painful and humiliating for me to tell. But through divine intervention, God gave me the strength and guidance to discover a breakthrough 15-second blood flow fix so classified you've never seen it before, and so powerful that without exercising, changing my diet, or using any prescription drugs, in just weeks, I went from having a totally limp, lifeless penis, leaving me humiliated and at the brink of divorce, to having a stiff 54-year-old penis, as strong as tempered steel, firmer and harder than it was when I was 22, with endless stamina and absolute confidence, knowing that I would never again have to experience the fear or shame of not being able to perform for the rest of my life, reclaiming my wife, satisfying her in ways she'd never been satisfied before, and leaving her begging me for sex again and again. And it's not just me. This 15-second blood flow fix I'm going to teach you has now been proven by over 110,000 men to be the holy grail of natural hard-ons. No matter how bad your situation is now, whether you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, or beyond, imagine never again having to worry about not being able to perform. No more going soft and disappointing her before you get to the best part, and no more awkwardness needing to take dangerous pharmaceutical drugs just to perform, all while having the best mind-blowing sex of your entire life, leaving your wife or your girlfriends glowing and gushing about your sexual prowess to all her friends, and having women on the street giving you the eye and playing with their hair because they can feel the masculine potency and confidence coming off you. As unbelievable as it sounds, this is all possible with an oddly simple and safe 15-second blood flow fix you can do at home right now. That's got nothing to do with weird exercises, penis pumps, or anything strange like that. You see, they want you to believe ED is your fault, but it's not your fault. You've been lied to, and in the next few minutes, you're going to be angry when you hear from whistleblowing doctors who spent decades deep inside the pharmaceutical industry as they reveal for the first time the hidden true root cause of your erectile dysfunction, something that scientists are calling the natural Viagra switch, which was recently discovered and validated by top institutions including Harvard, Stanford, and Johns Hopkins University, who found this natural Viagra switch lying inactive in every single man who suffers from ED, especially those over 40. This solution is nothing like you've ever tried or seen before, and it's so simple it might even make you angry, because this 15-second blood flow fix targets and activates the natural Viagra switch to instantly boost blood flow, so you walk around feeling like you have the power of a steel hammer in your pants, giving you on-demand erections, jutting out of you like a flagpole, even if the hottest girl can't get a rise out of you now, transforming the lives of thousands of men just like these.
Wow, I can't believe how fast this worked. You just saved my marriage.
This completely changed my life and saved me a fortune in medical bills. Now I'm ready to go at a moment's notice.
This totally transformed our life. Me and my wife roll around in the sheets like teenagers again. I can't remember the last time we had so much sex.
Our sex life was over, and it was really putting a strain on our relationship. Thank God we found your information. You've given my husband a new lease on life, and now we're having the best sex of our life.
I can't put into words how good it feels to be able to have sex again after so many years. This is game-changing. Do yourself a favor and watch this video.
Every day I get messages from folks just like this, in pure joy after just days of putting this 15-second blood flow fix to the test for themselves. And just as it worked for them, how will you feel when it works for you? Imagine no more worrying about getting it up when she's ready to go, no more anxiety about her leaving because you can't perform, no more shame or depression over not feeling like a man. Instead, you'll have the potency and the stamina you had in your 20s, making your wife or girlfriend so satisfied she begs you for more night after night, boosting your confidence and leaving you feeling like the king that you are. And all because of this 15-second blood flow fix that targets the biological root cause of your erectile dysfunction. Once you're fixed, your problem is gone forever. So no more paying out the nose for dangerous pharmaceutical drugs that could send you to the hospital or an early grave. The truth is, you've never heard about this solution before. I can guarantee it. That's because the greedy, corrupt, billion-dollar big pharma industry is furiously doing everything in their power to hide it from you and take this video down, as their entire business relies on you staying limp, keeping you a customer for life. Time is ticking. I don't know how much longer this video will be up. Their lawyers have already threatened me. So listen carefully, pay attention, and watch this video to the very end, because in the following banned presentation, you'll be shocked when you discover the simple 15-second blood flow fix that fixes the root cause of your ED and quickly activates your internal natural Viagra switch. It has nothing to do with genetics, hormones, toxins, exercise, diet, or anything else they made you believe. I'll give you the exact step-by-step breakdown so you can do it yourself right away at home. Plus, I'll share all the studies from the top universities and even Nobel-winning scientists to back up everything I'm saying about how and why this works. All of that, plus a few hidden surprises along the way, inside this video I can't wait for you to see. It's time to break free from the prison of ED once and for all. The time is now. Are you ready? Hi, my name is Tom Bradford, and I want to share an incredible story about how I almost lost Denise, my wife of over 22 years. The incredible story you're about to hear is 100% true. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened that night, and how it was all my fault, and how your wife could be cheating on you behind your back if you don't make some changes fast. You're about to find out exactly what those changes are and how to make them happen quickly and easily in the next 24 hours. And all I ask in return are two things. Number one, you give me your complete and undivided attention. And number two, you make an honest commitment to watch this until it's completely over. Because those who do that are the only ones who will get these results. The video is short, and I'll be blunt. The information is controversial, 100% accurate, but it's controversial. Because the powers that be don't want you to hear what you're about to hear. Because it's a knife in the heart of the pharmaceutical companies whose dangerous products are worth billions of dollars to their bottom line. Our website is safely up right now, but we don't know for how long. So take this warning seriously. Shut down all your other tabs. Turn off your phone. Open a notepad and get ready to take notes, because if you're suffering from ED, you'll never watch a video more important than this in your lifetime. There is nothing that crushes your self-esteem more than ED. I've been there, and I feel for you. But I'm also excited for you, because soon you will not only know the true cause, you will know how to treat your ED directly from the source, without all the scary side effects of those little blue pills. Your wife is soon to become the happiest woman of all her friends, because if you watch this video and do what it says, in just weeks, I promise you, here and now, you will have in your pants, or maybe out of your pants, a completely full, bulging, pulsating erection, standing at attention, that will make any woman's eyes light up with desire and anticipation. And you will do it without dangerous drugs, without pumps, without painful injections, without any surgeries, and without any exercises. Some call this natural Viagra, because that's what it is. And soon you'll experience it for yourself, just like 11,000 men have before you. Their success stories keep pouring in. Ecstatic men, wives, and girlfriends all feeling the effects from ages 20 to age 90. We saw so many lives changed, so many marriages saved. We knew it was time for this to go public. So without any further delay, let's talk about your erection. Well, that's pretty awkward. Let's start by talking about my erection first. Going through grade school, erections were my worst enemy. I couldn't stop them. In the shower, in the middle of class, in a restaurant, whenever the waitress came up to take the order. Before getting up from a chair, I usually had to wait 2 minutes thinking about football or channeling the Holy Ghost just so that it would go down. But that was at age 12. Fast forward to me at age 54. The same penis, but a very different story. Married happily, and yet erections hardly ever happened anymore. I noticed my erections were just getting a little softer than they used to be. Didn't think much of it. I was still in the game. Until one night, it was time for me to perform with Denise, and I panicked. It was just too soft to do anything with. Like, what the hell? This can't be happening. We waited, and we tried everything while we waited, and I mean everything. And then 45 minutes later, we gave up, and we realized it wasn't going to happen. I went to sleep feeling a little like the high school quarterback whose mom just bursts onto the field between a play to fix his shoulder pads. A humiliation, a disgrace. I didn't feel I even deserved to call myself a man, because a man is someone who can please a woman. I was up all night, and she wasn't sleeping much either. We spoke a bit at about 3 a.m. and decided that, hey, this could be just an isolated incident. We'll wait and see if it blows over. But it didn't blow over. It happened again the very next night. And I knew with certainty that if this went on, it was going to spell the end of our marriage. Why? Well, this is a bit personal. But as you know, all women need sex. But for my wife, it's a little different. It's not just a need she can ignore for a year or two. It's her day-to-day coping mechanism. Everyone has a coping mechanism, a way to relieve the stress of the day so you can get through it. For some, it's smoking. For others, it's shopping. For some, it's just talking on the phone. But for her, it was sex. It was her main way of coping and staying relaxed. And for that reason, we had a lot of it, and I was good at it. And that's how our marriage worked. And now, as much as she loved me, and I knew she did, every night that went by that I couldn't satisfy that need, she started losing her cool. She was losing her ability to cope. And I could see her mind racing each night, not knowing what to do with herself. And this went on for almost a year. 1 year without sex was enough to drive us both crazy. We were bickering about everything. But I really felt bad for her this particular night when her sexual frustration was totally obvious. But I wasn't expecting it to end quite like this. She's clearly in a dream state, having a sexual fantasy. I can tell by her movements, her breathing, and her, well, panting. She's getting more and more into it, which I must admit I found extremely hot. And then her mouth opens and she lets out a cry that pierced through the night. "Oh, Mark!" And I'm like, whoa, my name's not Mark. It took me a minute to process this. That's some other guy she's fantasizing about. Who the hell is Mark? And that's when it all started. I confronted her that night. "Do you know what you were doing while you were sleeping?" "What?" she said, completely clueless and half awake. I said, "You've been fantasizing about having sex with some other guy named Mark. And loud too, really loud." Her face turned bright red, but I kept pressing her to tell me who Mark was. We started arguing in the middle of the night. One thing led to another, and the situation quickly spun out of control. Now looking back, I know it was all my fault. I kept pushing her until she said it. "You just didn't satisfy me anymore." My heart was shattered. That's when I lost it and grabbed the gun. What was the point of living as a man without sex? What was the point if I couldn't even satisfy my own wife? What was the point if she was cheating on me with Mark? Standing there with a gun to my head, staring at my beautiful wife, I was overwhelmed with emotion and I couldn't handle it. My hands started to shake and I dropped the gun. Bang! The gun went off as soon as it hit the floor. My wife just stood there in shock. She was afraid to move. I dropped to my knees and I started sobbing. What have I done, I thought. She runs over to me, tears all over her face, falls into my arms crying. She didn't say much. She just said, "I would never cheat on you, Tom. My mind just all effed up right now, you know, from everything." I knew exactly what everything was. And I didn't quite know where these words came from, but it occurred to me to say, "It's okay. It's my fault, honey, not yours. And I haven't done a damn thing to fix this. And I'm gonna fix this, Denise. I'm gonna fix it if it's the last thing I do." She said, "Okay," and we hugged each other, both wishing things were different. And every day I thank God that she found it in her heart to forgive me. Even though I acted crazy, I would never hurt her. But I loved her so much that the thought of losing her drove me mad. And I knew she really loved me, but women have biological needs, just like a human needs food. They need to be sexually satisfied, or they leave you, literally or emotionally. They'll find what they need with someone else or something else, and you can't let that happen. You can't force a woman to suffocate, and you can't let your marriage fall apart. But it will if you do nothing. And doing nothing isn't really, that's some other guy. When a bodybuilder stops working out, the muscles atrophy and disappear. Well, the penis is no different. The more you don't use it, the more you lose it. That was the predicament I faced at that time. I knew I had to take massive action to do something about this. I knew that a treatment had to be out there, and I was going to find it. My doctor wasn't much help. For me, all he had was Viagra and Cialis, which gave me temporary erections at best. At worst, a long list of side effects. And I mean really dangerous side effects. I started to do some research, and what I found was truly shocking. If you only knew the real risks of taking those little blue pills, you would never touch them again. From headaches, stomach pain, fatigue, dizziness, nausea, to kidney stones that force you to piss out painfully sharp little rocks. Then there's hearing loss, temporary and irreversible. What the hell was I reading? Sudden vision loss in one or both eyes, forcing the FDA to issue a vision loss warning, and it gets worse. In fact, Pfizer, the maker of Viagra, has already been in over 1,000 lawsuits for life-threatening melanoma. I also found some studies linking Viagra to heart disease, sudden heart failure, and life-ending strokes. I could go on and on about these issues, but I decided right there and then that my family and my life was too important to take these stupid risks. Even if these worked, which they don't for everyone, what would it do for the mood? What would sex be like if I had to plan it 30 minutes in advance? Oh, and I forgot to mention that some men experience what's called priapism, which is basically an erection that lasts longer than 4 hours and requires an embarrassing trip to the ER, and long-lasting permanent damage to your penis. It all seemed wrong to me. I didn't want a Band-Aid, and I didn't want to risk my life just to have sex. I want to be rid of this. I wanted to undo whatever caused my ED. I wanted my old erection back, the way it used to be. I decided I would do whatever it took to get that. Denise deserved that. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Tom Bradford. What I didn't mention is that for the last 18 years, I've worked for the US government in the Health and Human Services Department. It was a mid-level job, but I had access to a vast library of scientific journals, medical databases, and clinical trial results. Even the unpublished papers Big Pharma worked day and night to keep hidden. I started staying later after my shift so I could search through the database for anything related to ED. I spent months digging through the scientific literature and reviewing the latest research. And the first thing I realized is, when it comes to what causes ED, there's no mystery there. It's been well established for anyone who cares to look it up, that ED is about one thing. It's all about the capillaries, the little tiny blood vessels that run through your penis. In someone with ED, the capillaries get clogged. It's clogged by a certain kind of plaque, which is actually made out of cholesterol. When your sink is clogged, the water can't get down the drain. And when your capillaries are clogged, blood can't get in for the same reason. And when blood can't get in, you stay limp. But before we get into how we naturally unclog your arteries, I want you to understand how drugs like Viagra work. To be clear, Viagra is a temporary fix that has nothing to do with this blockage. It works by dilating your blood vessels using chemicals that increase nitric oxide levels in the blood. Nitric oxide is a gas that forces these tiny capillaries to expand many times their normal size. So although the plaque is still clogging your arteries, this expansion provides gaps for blood to flow through. The one good thing I'll say about Viagra is that it works fast. Too bad there are so many side effects. But it got me thinking, what if there was a way to get the benefits of Viagra without the side effects? This led me to the research of Dr. Louis Ignarro, who won the Nobel Prize in 1998 for his discoveries concerning nitric oxide and its impact on blood vessels and circulation, as well as the Research Prize from the American Heart Association for his work. Now, you don't win awards like those unless you've discovered something pretty darn significant. His breakthrough led directly to the development of the most popular ED drugs. Many refer to him as the father of Viagra, so I started reading through his original research. And to my surprise, this major discovery was made using natural compounds, not the synthetic chemicals Pfizer used. You see, in order to make billions of dollars, Pfizer needed a patent, and you can't patent natural compounds. So they tweaked a few molecules and made a synthetic drug that could be patented. I wondered, could I use those same natural compounds to get all the fast-acting benefits of Viagra without the side effects? The answer was yes, and it only cost pennies compared to Viagra, Cialis, and the other ED drugs. I'm going to reveal everything to you right now, so listen carefully. The first ingredient is L-citrulline. This special amino acid works the exact same way as Viagra, by boosting nitric oxide levels and dilating blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more freely. And when combined with a few other ingredients to activate them, it means erections on demand, without the side effects. This sounds too simple, but why wasn't this front page news? Why actually made out of cholesterol get down the drain? And well, he did, but only years later, after Pfizer's gag order meant to keep him silent expired. He tried everything to get the news out. He was met with fierce resistance, even hatred from mainstream medicine. They ridiculed him. They laughed at him, they dismissed him. Even though this man had won a Nobel Prize and had been long celebrated as one of the greatest scientists in human history, they called him a fool. It seems like a shocking betrayal on the part of the scientific community, a backstabbing of one of their own. Yet when you start to connect the dots, it becomes easy to see why many in mainstream science turned on Dr. Louis Ignarro, why they were so quick to dismiss his important research. Look, it's no coincidence that at the time that this happened, pharmaceutical companies were already making billions of dollars in profits off their ED drugs. And then suddenly, you've got this world-famous doctor coming out saying that all you need to do to reduce your risk of heart disease and get your erection back is to add L-citrulline and a few other items to your diet. I mean, is it any wonder that Pfizer and the other big pharma corporations decided to wage a war on Dr. Ignarro? And so it turned ugly, with Dr. Ignarro refusing to back down from his research and many pharma-sponsored doctors calling him a quack. Tragically, Big Pharma ultimately won this battle. And today, Americans spend billions each year on ED drugs and are left to suffer with the scary side effects. Now, I know that sounds kind of depressing, like the bad guys won. But one of the main reasons why I made this presentation, and one of the main reasons why I'm here talking to you today, is to tell you that all is not lost. The truth is, if you want raging erections at a moment's notice and you want to pleasure your wife with all her heart's desires, it can be done. You see, in the last few years, a small rogue group of scientists and doctors, myself included, have become fed up with the lies big medicine is shoving down people's throats. Mainstream medicine has been prescribing Viagra and Cialis for 2 decades now, and yet erectile dysfunction rates are skyrocketing, which to me is a pretty clear sign that Dr. Ignarro had it right and that the big drug companies have it wrong. If you want to regain the morning erections you used to wake up with, please her like no other in the bedroom, and drastically improve your health, then you need to take L-citrulline every day, just like Dr. Ignarro recommended. Plus, 7 more breakthrough ingredients research have found to play a huge role in reversing ED. And you should know right now that each of these ingredients is 100% natural, very inexpensive, and easy to find. So pay close attention. The second ingredient is something called Pinus pinaster, which is an extract derived from the French maritime pine bark. This complex compound is key to activating the release of nitric oxide. In fact, a 2010 study proved definitively. Pine bark extract combined with an amino acid like L-citrulline resulted in an unbelievable 92.5% of men experiencing normal erections. And these results started within the first month. Let me repeat that. 92.5% no longer had any erection issues. And that was just those 2 ingredients alone. But as impressive as these results are, it still didn't address the plaque buildup we talked about earlier. You see, during my research, I discovered something frightening. I realized that ED and heart disease are actually one and the same. In fact, 93% of people who experienced major heart issues had ED first. I didn't want to die from a heart attack, and I know you don't want to either. So I knew it was important to unclog the arteries. For this, I turned to the research of another Nobel Prize-winning doctor. His name is Dr. Linus Pauling. And if you think back to the science classes you took growing up, you may have heard of Dr. Pauling. He's referred to as the founder of modern chemistry and modern biology. He's the only person to have ever been awarded 2 unshared Nobel Prizes. He holds 48 honorary PhDs on top of his own doctorates. And he's universally accepted as one of the greatest scientists of all time. Dr. Pauling made hundreds of vital scientific discoveries during his lifetime. His work is what allowed scientists to finally understand the structure of human DNA. Needless to say, the man is a genius of another sort. What a lot of people don't know about Dr. Pauling, though, is that his later years were devoted to researching heart disease. So in 1989, Dr. Pauling published A Unified Theory of Human Cardiovascular Disorder, which was a culmination of his life's work, and which contained what he believed to be a simple, proven way to prevent cardiovascular issues. This work is one of the most important pieces of scientific research in human history, right up there with Einstein's theory of relativity or Isaac Newton's laws of gravity. And again, it was violently opposed by mainstream medicine. You already know why. Big pharma profits. Anyway, Dr. Pauling's discovery was that the reason plaque builds up in the first place has to do with weakening arteries. And you see, when arteries are weak, they begin to crack, which can quickly become life-threatening. So your body, with its infinite intelligence, sends out an extra sticky form of cholesterol called lipoprotein A, or LPA for short, in an effort to patch up these tears and keep your blood flowing. It's a lot like using caulk to seal a plumbing leak. And this LPA sticky cholesterol does help protect your arteries in the short term. But over time, though, as sticky LPA cholesterol continues to build up, your vessels and arteries become increasingly narrow and hardened, and eventually you're right back where you started from, with less blood reaching the penis. The end of your erection, and maybe your marriage. What caused this weakening of your arteries? According to Dr. Pauling, it was the lack of vitamin C. You may not know this, but humans are one of the only animals in God's kingdom that don't manufacture their own vitamin C. And with industrial farming, artificial fertilizer, and long transportation times, food no longer has the vital nutrients we need. So today, the average orange only contains about 51 milligrams of vitamin C, which is not nearly enough to protect damaged blood vessels. In fact, mammals that produce their own vitamin C make 100 times that amount, and blood vessel clogging is virtually impossible for them. Makes sense, right? He said we should also supplement with L-lysine, which is an essential amino acid that's been shown to stop LPA cholesterol from sticking to artery walls, and works hand in hand with vitamin C to strengthen artery and vessel tissues, so that they are less likely to suffer from micro tears or cracks. According to Dr. Pauling, this was really all it took to protect anyone from ED at any age. Just vitamin C and L-lysine. And while it sounds pretty simplistic, Dr. Pauling, one of the greatest scientists who ever lived, proved his theory without a doubt. And years later, hundreds of studies verified his results. Think about it. When you add that to the research done by Nobel Prize winner Dr. Boostaro and the research done by 2-time Nobel Prize winning Dr. Pauling, it becomes a 1-2 knockout punch eradicating ED forever. Now, even if I stop there and just put together a formula containing these ingredients, it would still be one of the most potent, effective, guaranteed ways to rock-hard, long-lasting erections. But as I mentioned before, I'm not just trying to make a product that's better than what's on the market today. My true intention, my obsession, is to create a product so good that it can't even be compared to anything else. That's why I added 3 more proven ED supporting ingredients to protect Americans from every possible angle, including a special form of magnesium, which studies have shown almost all men with ED are deficient in. And according to world-renowned research scientist Andrea Rosenoff, magnesium plays an essential role in controlling blood vessel function, regulating blood pressure, as well as keeping our erections happening on command. And when our magnesium levels drop, we start seeing erectile dysfunction, plaque buildup in our arteries, weakening of our penile tissue, and hardening of the arteries. Then there's vitamin K2. which is proven to be essential to strong, long-lasting erections.
The Rotterdam study found that it protects arteries and blood vessels from calcification. In addition, it made significant improvements in vascular elasticity
and further reduce your risk of having heart issues.
Truly incredible. And last but not least, the final ingredient, which is nattokinase. Nattokinase
is definitely the most exotic ingredient of all 7 I've shared with you so far.
It is an enzyme, and it's extracted from a popular Japanese food called natto. There's compelling research showing that the consumption of natto is one of the main reasons the Japanese consistently have the longest life expectancy of any nation in the world. They also have the greatest potency in the world in their later years. And in a 2018 study published in the journal Biomarker Insights, researchers found that natto possesses a variety of favorable cardiovascular effects, and the consumption of natto has been linked to a reduction of CVD, cardiovascular disease, mortality. That same study found that natto can also break down and dissolve blood clots, and it dissolves plaque buildup in your arteries. Pretty impressive, right? Okay, so to sum everything up, the ingredients I just shared with you are
vitamin C, lysine, L-citrulline, magnesium, pine bark, vitamin K2, and nattokinase. And boy, do they work.
How do I know? Well, once I had a complete list, I took pretty much every single penny I had saved and hired a whole team of laboratory scientists at the local university, tasking them with the sole mission of combining these into a single shake. Something that was easy to take, yet effective.
We were really obsessive over the quality, purity, and bioavailability of these ingredients because I knew this was my only chance to repair my erectile dysfunction.
Then we tested these ingredients day and night until finally, after months of formulation and spending pretty much every single waking hour in the lab we rented here in Dallas, we had something I was ready to test. It was powder, and it was packed with scientifically supported doses of each of the erection-producing ingredients I'd uncovered. And all I kept thinking is, please God, let this work. Then it was the moment of truth. So on an unseasonably cool day in mid-April, I took my very first dose of this miracle formula. And after that, all I could do was wait. And to my surprise, about 20 minutes later, something happened. I can't describe it perfectly. I felt a sign of life. I felt like little tinglers throughout my penis, and it was expanding. Blood was heading in that direction, trying to get in. I could tell. I got a bit firmer, not hard, but a little more firm, and that was enough to put a big smile on my face because I hadn't felt anything down there in a long time. It appeared I had woken the beast, but the clogging was definitely still there. I didn't tell Denise about what had happened because I didn't want to get her hopes up. I didn't really know where all this experimentation was taking me, but I was definitely onto something. The next day, I took another shake. It wasn't more than a few minutes that I felt a certain feeling or relaxation down there, like something was loosening. It actually felt just like a drain ready to unclog, and water is beginning to find its way through. I can feel blood rushing to fill the gaps that were opening. And those gaps got bigger and bigger. And then I start getting bigger and bigger until I unzip, look down to see nothing short of an eager, rock-hard erection, bigger than anything I've seen in many, many years. Next thing I do, grab the phone, of course, speed dial Denise. She's at work. I said, honey, you gotta come home. There's something we gotta talk about. She says, Tom, I'm in the middle of work. What's this about? She seemed like she was having a rough day. I just said, just come. Do you trust me? She paused and then said, yes, Tom, I do. When she arrived home, the house was dark, the lights were dimmed, and there were candles all over the house, forming a path to the bedroom with Marvin Gaye playing in the background. I flick on the light, and there I am on the bed, on my back, in a revealing position. Her eyes light up, and this being a PG video, the scene cuts here. But 3 hours later, we were eating takeout and smoking. When she says, Tom, I'm not totally convinced you're cured. I think we need to do another test. I passed that test. with flying colors, and the next one too. We could have gone on all night, if not for the fact that we were just completely passed out on that couch, sleeping soundly with the biggest smiles that we've ever had in our faces. I don't think I've ever lasted that long and gone that many times in one day. When she came to work the next day, she said people just looked at her and were like, "What's this all about? You look so relaxed, almost like you're glowing." "I don't know," she said. "Just had a good workout, I guess." A good workout? Indeed. Now, I know this sounds cliche for these type of products, but it's the truth. Our marriage is stronger than it was before, maybe stronger than it ever was, because our time apart just made that coming together so much more powerful. And I have never had any sign of ED return since I started drinking that shake daily. I've gotten to the root of the problem. I know how to unclog the sink, and for that reason, it won't ever get clogged again. My success with this shake was awesome. But when I started sharing it with others, all I can say is, wow. People from all walks of life, people with marriages on the rocks, marriages on the brink, young people, old people, disabled people, athletes, and everything in between. We are seeing almost miraculous results with all of them, and in just minutes. Listen, folks, I want you to take a moment to think about why I'm sharing these ingredients with you and what taking them regularly could mean to you and your life. Think of Nobel Prize winner Louis J. Ignaro's findings on L-citrulline. Think about the 2-time Nobel Prize winning research done by Dr. Pauling on vitamin C and lysine. The research of Dr. Andrew Rosenoff on magnesium. The Q-Symbio trial on CoQ10. The Rotterdam study on vitamin K2. The Takayama study on natto. Let's start connecting the dots here. These are studies that lasted for years, that were conducted by the best scientists in the world, that involved tens of thousands of people. And in all of these studies, it was shown that the ingredients I'm telling you about completely fight the root cause of ED, and that people who took these regularly were less likely to pass away. That they were so much less likely to suffer from blood clots, heart problems, a ruptured artery, high blood pressure, or anything else. It's actually incredible that just supplementing your diet with a few ingredients can do this. Yet that's exactly what the research shows. And I think that's really important. I mean, look, we all know that we should eat healthier, that we should exercise more, that we should drink less, and all of those things. But let's be honest, it's hard to do all these things consistently on a daily basis year after year. Yet, while diet and exercise are hard, I really don't think there's any excuse not to be adding the ingredients I've just shared with you into your daily diet, especially when it's never been easier than it is right now, today. You see, while I've been recommending these 7 ingredients for years, up until recently, people I've shared this with always ran into 2 big problems. The first issue was that nobody wanted to take 7 different supplements each day, which I get because depending on the dosage, that works out to anywhere from 7 to 32 capsules a day, and that's just not realistic. Plus, buying 7 different individual supplements each month can really start to add up, which is simply not affordable for most folks. And the second issue that my patients used to run into when it came to these 7 ingredients had to do with quality and purity, which is a really big problem in the supplement industry. Stories of shady companies selling supplements that don't include the ingredients they're supposed to, or that they only contain trace amounts of the star ingredients that they advertise. All of those things can make it feel like you're playing Russian roulette every time you buy a product, where you hope that what you get inside the bottle is actually high quality ingredients. So I knew there had to be a better option out there, a way for both my friends and family and the American public to get this powerful natural Viagra and the benefits of each of these 7 ingredients you've discovered today inside one supplement. A supplement that's ultra grade, ultra pure, that contains ingredients that are tested and certified free of pesticide and toxins, that you can take each day in under 1 minute, and that will make you feel confident that you are doing everything in your power to promote healthy circulation and never worry about ED again. Well, after more than 2 years in the lab, my team at Nature's Formulas is pleased to announce that we've created a breakthrough new formula. Something that has the purest, best form of all 7 ingredients. It's called Boostaro. and it represents the next generation of erection-boosting science. Boostaro is the breakthrough that finally brings the passion back into your marriage. And because Boostaro harnesses the power to clear out your arteries, this is something that can pretty much refresh your whole entire body too.
Each bottle contains the purest natural blend, the exact same 7 miracle ingredients proven in scientific studies to restore erections impossibly fast.
All this comes together to make the most effective ED supplement in existence. The results speak for themselves, and that's why it's extremely popular. Pretty much everyone who tries Boostaro keeps asking for more of the stuff because they never want to worry about being impotent or disappointing their wife or their girlfriend ever again. Boostaro is also becoming extremely popular with many in the health profession, which is amazing, but it puts even more strain on production, especially because it can take up to 3 months to custom create each batch. And as a result of the fact that Boostaro is expensive to manufacture, it takes up to 3 months to produce a single batch and keeps selling out. I frequently don't have any Boostaro available for the public. But that being said, I don't want anyone to worry that they won't be able to get it up when duty calls, which is why in the next few moments, I'll share with you how you can get your hands on brand new bottles of Boostaro and how you can try it risk-free as a part of our Breakthrough New Pilot program. But first, let me answer that other question. How much Boostaro do you need to take? That's simple.
Just take 2 capsules a day for at least 30 days.
The reason it's important that you take Boostaro for at least 30 days is very straightforward.
While the 7 natural ingredients go to work pretty much immediately,
what all of those clinical studies have shown us is that the longer you take each of the ingredients inside Boostaro, the more your body can benefit. For example, as you saw in one study, L-citrulline is shown in studies to support a marked improvement in erections within 20 minutes.
But you also saw that in another major study, taking vitamin C and L-lysine for just 4 months was shown to significantly clear out the plaque in your arteries and decreased overall cardiovascular issues, which is another important factor for those who want to live longer, healthier, more energized lives for years to come.
So it just makes sense to keep taking Boostaro day after day and month after month, especially with all the astronomical prices doctors are charging for Viagra and other dangerous drugs. For example, 10 years ago, the average prescription drug cost 5 times less for exactly the same product. Isn't that criminal? All the greedy drug companies have hiked up their prices too. While the most that Boostaro costs is a few pennies per day, and more on that in a second. And this is why so many experts are recommending that you choose at least 3 bottles of Boostaro at a time, and 6 bottles if you want to be completely safe. Then take it for a period of at least 90 days.
That way you can absolutely guarantee that you've done everything you can do to improve your erections and start having the best sex of your life.
Across the US, people who were once worried about the embarrassment of not being able to get it up, people who were finding life so hard just to get through the day knowing that they weren't satisfying their wife, are calling Boostaro a gift from God. And today, this is your golden opportunity to join them. Just like Thomas Curry of Denver, Colorado, he says, "With every scoop of Boostaro, I feel more confident. I'm getting erections in the morning, and I'm getting erections with only mental effort. Things are even popping when I don't want them to. LOL. My wife has never been more satisfied." I know that the nutrients inside are playing a vital role in that. And not only is my ED solved, I'm also seeing all those cool benefits, everything from more energy to better sleep. This product is making a big difference in my life. And Mark Engelman of Buffalo, New York, he writes, "I'm ashamed to admit it, but my wife and I hadn't been able to have sex in almost a year, and she was on the verge of leaving me. Boostaro not only got my erection back, it got my wife back. We've never been happier, and to this, all it took were a few nutrients. This product is a miracle. God works in mysterious ways, and I know He's guided me to you." And Robert T. of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, "I can hardly believe the change that has happened since taking Boostaro. The erection is back, baby, and I didn't even know it was so big. This isn't just your average erection. It's bigger than it's ever been, and that makes my wife's eyes light up with glee. Everyone should be taking it. Thank you." Those testimonials you just heard are only a few of the hundreds I'm receiving each month about Boostaro. And you should know that this natural erection supporting breakthrough is only available on this website while there are supplies in stock, and I'm able to keep this report online. The truth is, there are many in the pharmaceutical business who hate what I'm doing. They planned on making billions, yes, billions of dollars off people like us when we grow old. And they view Boostaro as a major threat, something that could take away their private jets, their yachts, their exotic beach homes, that could make them find a new career path altogether. I'm trying to fight these people and their lawyers off, but it's an uphill battle, which is why if you're here right now and there are bottles of Boostaro in stock, it's vital that you don't put this decision off. Using Boostaro really can make you feel like you just found the mystery switch for firm erections, youthfulness, and long-lasting great sex. Something that lets you wake in the morning confident that you can enjoy your day without worrying that you won't perform when you need to. Every day you take your Boostaro is a day where you have a chance to be free from worry and be free from the pain of a sexless marriage, or worse, having a loved one cheat on you. Reclaim the erections you had in your 20s so you don't miss out on this opportunity to live a normal, healthy life again, where you might be able to satisfy your wife or your girlfriend over and over again. And when you consider that Boostaro really was designed to help make all of this a reality, you can probably understand why my board of directors was adamant that I set the price of this breakthrough at $249 per bottle, which honestly I think is extremely fair, especially considering how much it costs to acquire the rare ingredients in Boostaro. And yet, while I know that we could charge $249 for a bottle of Boostaro and I'd still sleep soundly at night, this isn't about making a profit for me or my team. Which is why if you decide to take action right now and say yes to the scientific miracle that is Boostaro, you won't need to spend $249 for a bottle or even $149. And why instead, by taking action today, you can order Boostaro for just $69 per bottle. And that's actually just the start. You see, because so many of the studies show that the longer you take the ingredients inside Boostaro, the more you could benefit from them. And because so many people have been ordering multiple bottles of Boostaro at a time, me and my team have created an even deeper discount program where right now, when you stock up on 6 bottles of Boostaro, you can get it for as low as $49 per bottle. So click the button below this video right now and select the 6-bottle package or any other package you choose to secure your order. You'll also get free shipping today when you order the 3 or 6 bottle package, which is a $19.99 value right there, along with a free digital copy of my best-selling book, The Truth About Erectile Dysfunction, which has helped over 11,000 people the natural way. And your order today also gives you access to over $297 worth of recipes, guides, and resources in my private VIP client area. But both the free shipping and these bonuses are only available to you here on this website today. So you really do need to act right now. All orders of Boostaro also come with my 180-day, 100% money-back guarantee. This is really important, and here's why. Every day I hear from folks all over the US who say that taking Boostaro is like getting the vigor of a teenager again. Ensuring your sex drive and energy is high and improving health markers 24/7. And while I'm absolutely sure you too will feel the same feeling of relief, assurance, and confidence once you try this scientific breakthrough, I also know that in today's society of big promises and over-the-top hype, talk is cheap. That's why I want to put my money where my mouth is, by offering you the opportunity to try Boostaro for yourself for the next 6 months with absolutely no financial risk whatsoever. It works like this. Simply click the button below and select one of the packages to start your order and claim your own supply of Boostaro right now. Then, when your order arrives in just a few business days from now, I want you to tear open that box, grab your first bottle, and start using Boostaro every single day. I'm positive that once you do this, you'll feel and see the difference Boostaro makes right away. And that after you've taken Boostaro for the next few months, you'll never want to go another day without taking this amazing erection supporting breakthrough. But if for any reason I'm wrong, if you aren't head over heels in love with your experience with Boostaro, then you don't have to pay a dime. Simply call or email my US-based award-winning customer service team and we'll refund your purchase with no questions asked. That's every single penny back to you, and you don't even need to return the bottles. They're yours to keep as my way of saying thank you for trying Boostaro out. And the only reason I'm able to offer such a bold guarantee is because I'm confident that you will be blown away by how hard you get when using Boostaro, and that you'll become a loyal, rabid customer for life. Still though, isn't it nice knowing that you have nothing to lose?
You've seen the science, you've seen the studies, you've heard from everyday folks who have firm erections thanks to the power of Boostaro and all the benefits it gives you. Yet you still get 180 days to decide if Boostaro is right for you.
So go ahead and click the button you see below right now and choose your package of Boostaro while there's still supplies in stock. This report is now ending, and ultimately, the choice is yours. You can choose to ignore everything you've seen today. The incredible studies showing that the ingredients in Boostaro can help to begin clearing out your arteries immediately and quickly work to restore your manhood so you can enjoy sweat-dripping sex again, with many people reporting amazing results from the first time they've taken it. And right now, you have the opportunity to join the thousands of folks just like you who have already said yes to Boostaro and who are opting out of paying outrageous rates for dangerous prescription drugs, while fighting back against impotence that so many people in their 50s and 60s end up going through for the rest of their lives. These folks are deciding they want to age younger and healthier instead, and now it's your turn. But in order to join these folks, you need to take action today. That's your first choice. But your other option is not to take any action at all, to instead click away from this page and go on with your day. If you make that second choice, there's no hard feelings, and I wish you all the best. But just think about what life would be like in a few months, or even a few years from now. Imagine the next time it's late at night and you're lying awake in bed staring at the ceiling, feeling frustrated that you're unable to satisfy your wife, worrying that she might leave you altogether. All the fears and the anxieties of old age racing through your mind. Won't you think back to this moment when you had the chance to claim your very own supply of Boostaro at a huge savings while there were supplies in stock, and feel just a little bit of regret that you didn't try this breakthrough risk-free today? If the answer is even maybe, then I would strongly urge you to make the smart decision and say yes to Boostaro right now. Get started now by just clicking the button below this video and selecting one of the packages on the next page, and claim your supply of this cutting-edge breakthrough while it's available to the public and while I do have bottles on hand. Your decision today is covered by a full 180-day, 100% money-back guarantee, so you truly have nothing to lose and an entirely new outlook on the future to gain. Ultimately, the decision is yours, but I trust you'll make the right choice by clicking the big button you see below this video right now and placing your order. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I look forward to hearing about your success with Boostaro. God bless. Tom Bradford. Frequently asked questions. Question number 1. What makes Boostaro so special? Quite a lot, actually. Boostaro contains 7 powerful ingredients that have been shown to help remove plaque from arteries and blood vessels, improve sex drive, increase stamina and size, and most importantly, provide firm erections at a moment's notice for long-lasting, pleasurable sex. These natural ingredients have been studied by some of the greatest scientists in human history, including 2-time Nobel Prize winner Dr. Linus Pauling and Nobel Prize winner Louis J. Ignarro, along with countless other doctors and scientists. But Boostaro isn't just about the proven ingredients. You'll find inside it's also about the quality of those ingredients too. Our breakthrough comes in a powdered form so that you can get 3 grams of nutrients with each serving, which is a big difference compared to the capsules, which can usually only hold 800 milligrams of nutrients per at most. Additionally, there's a lot of research showing that powdered supplements are much better absorbed by the body than capsules. Question number 2. What else can you tell me about Boostaro? Boostaro is made right here in the United States in a facility that follows all GMP guidelines. It's manufactured in an FDA-registered facility with rigorous regulations. We also have our formula tested by an independent third-party laboratory to ensure that what's on the label is really inside. There are absolutely no fillers, preservatives, and no artificial ingredients, making this an incredibly pure yet highly effective breakthrough in erectile dysfunction. Question number 3. How long will Boostaro be available to the public? It's hard to say, My goal is to get this breakthrough in Boostaro to as many Americans as possible, especially since Boostaro presents such a revolution and since drug manufacturers have tripled their prices of their ED products. My plan is to make it available to every American for just pennies a day. Yet while that is my goal, there are a lot of powerful people out there who hate what I'm doing, and I know they'd love nothing more than to shut me up by getting this website taken off the internet. So between the fact that I'm making a ton of enemies and that each bottle of Boostaro can take up to 3 months to manufacture, I simply cannot guarantee how long the site will remain online or if we'll have bottles in stock. Which is why, if you are ready to experience the incredible benefits of Boostaro, it's important that you do take action today by ordering your supply. Question number 4. How does the guarantee work again? When you click on the button at the bottom of this page and get your supply of Boostaro today, you're covered by a full 180-day, 100% money-back guarantee. This means that if you change your mind about Boostaro for any reason over the next 6 months, just call or email my US-based customer service team and we'll refund your entire investment in Boostaro quickly and with no questions asked. So there's no risk for you whatsoever. Question number 5. Okay, I'm ready to order Boostaro. What now? It's easy. Just click on the big button below and select one of the packages you see on the next page and place your order. Our 6-bottle package is by far the most popular option because of the added savings you get. But no matter which package you choose, the moment you place your order, we'll begin rushing Boostaro out to you. Then once you've received your order in a few short days from now, simply start taking this little natural erection boosting breakthrough each day. And I'm confident you'll be amazed by just how different you look and feel. Plus, as I just mentioned, this is all covered by that 180-day, 100% money-back guarantee. So go ahead and place your order now. That way you can experience the power of Boostaro for yourself right away.